Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Kimberly Engber, the proud Dean of the Dorothy and Bill Cohen Honors College, and with me on the stage today are some of our student leaders who will be managing the ceremony today. I am extremely pleased to welcome friends and family and our incoming students. And it is my great pleasure to introduce our Wichita State University President, Dr. John W. Bardo, to welcome you.
Thank you, and thank you all for being here today, and for the students, welcome, and for the families and supporters. We're so glad you're here as well. The Honors College is something that I'd hoped we could get started when I came here 3 years ago, and talked to Dean Engber about, at the time she was working with the Lindquist Honors Program, and about was there something that we could do to really move the bright, capable student to the centerpiece of the university, and could we create a college that catered to their needs and their interests? And she ran with that and has created this wonderful college, which in the first 2 years has more than doubled the number of honors students in the university. So just think where this is going to be as you all make this college what it can be, how large it can be, how much of an impact it can have on this university and on the region around us. It's really quite an amazing feat, and I want to congratulate all of you who took this on for this wonderful work. You will hear, and I know you'll hear a little bit of the history, but I want to talk to you just a minute about one of the progenitors of honors at Wichita State, and that is Emory Lindquist. Emory was president of the university. He followed Harry Corbin. If any of you are in education, the Corbin building is named after him, and any of you in arts and sciences, the main humanities and social science building here is named after Emory Lindquist. Emory came in as president right after Wichita State, joined the system, and Emory was a consummate scholar. He was a graduate of Oxford University. He was a Rhodes Scholar, a very religious man, man of Kansas, who absolutely cared deeply about students. And so the connection of the Emory Lindquist tradition with this college, I think, is particularly important. I had the advantage of knowing him. I had the advantage of my wife had the advantage of working for him. And she typed, I think, his last book when she was an undergraduate student here. Emory was a true gentleman. But we had a child at the time who was about 2.5 years old, and I came out of what is now Lindquist Hall, where I was a faculty member, and I looked, and there was Deborah and my son, who I expected to see there. We were going to meet for dinner, and there was this old man chasing him around in front of the hall, clapping his hands behind the 2.5-year-old, and it was President Lindquist. I don't think he ever saw a kid he didn't like, and really was quite engaged up until the time of his death in what it meant to be a student, what it meant to be a young person, and really aimed at trying to build people into what they could be. So that's the legacy that you're inheriting here. And I think it's an important legacy, and it's important to remember. At the same time, because you are entering a new college, you will be the people who create the legacy of the future. You will be the students who create what the culture of this college will be, who will help it become what it can be. And I hope that you will take active part in making sure that the legacy that you leave here is one that we'll be very proud of, and that you can look back when you have grandchildren and say, you know, that college is what it was, in part because I went there and took active part. I got a great education. I engaged with a lot of wonderful other students, but we created something very special at Wichita State, and that's what you're doing. So again, congratulations to all of you, to your supporters. Thank you for being here, and I do look forward to seeing what you do with the Cohen Honors College. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bardo. And now, a chemistry faculty member, Dr. Mariah Beck, will join us on stage for a word from the faculty to our new honors students.
Well, I want to thank Dr. Bardo for having this vision and supporting the honors program from day one. It's hard for me to believe, but it was 20 years ago today that I was in your shoes, starting college, about to enter this period of great challenges, exploration, and those life-altering decisions, or that's how it felt. I was living on my own for the first time in a city where I didn't know anyone, but fortunately, like you, I was a part of the honors program as an undergrad, and this is where really my lifelong friendships formed. There was never a dull moment. This week, probably 20 years ago, I've made so many long-lasting friendships, including my future husband, who I met this week, 20 years ago. There were a few things that I noticed right away about the honors program that were different. English class was now going to be called rhetoric, and we had these team talk classes. And that meant sometimes you had teachers from very different disciplines teaching classes together. That also meant that you had a permanent devil's advocate in the classroom with you. And his or her job was taken very seriously. They would engage us in these argumentative discussions, challenge us to uncover the flaws in our logic, and we could even spend a whole semester studying something like the sun, okay? So it was fun. What I didn't truly appreciate right away was that these professors, this ecosystem of classrooms, research labs, was drawing me in, and it would never really let me go. I never thought I wanted to be a teacher. I never liked public speaking or those kind of things. I entered college thinking I was going to be a clinical lab scientist. I kept part of that in my career goals, but it was the formulation of that honors program that really drew me in. And I became more than just this receptacle for knowledge. I realized that I wanted to ask my own questions, formulate my own hypotheses, I am a scientist after all, and go out there and find those answers. And so I've never really left the university. It was 20 years ago that I also didn't imagine that I would be asked to stand up here in front of you. And when last Friday Dr. Ingber asked me to do this, I was actually laying underneath the stars watching one of the biggest grossing Bollywood films right behind Dirksen. And, you know, I was contemplating what I was going to talk about here, and I was inspired by this movie. The story follows 3 engineering students, and I realize there are probably a lot of engineering students in the audience here today, as they enter college. They become quite disillusioned, they learn about what's really important in life, and despite the title, there is actually some tremendous insight in this film. And I'd like to share my favorite quote. This comes from the central character who's known as Rancho. "Never study to be successful, study for self-efficiency. Don't run behind success, follow behind excellence. Success will come all the way behind you." I love how Rancho puts it, strive for excellence in what you do and success will follow. Success is not going to be defined by the material things that we acquire along the way, or even that A that you earned in class, but more importantly, by the knowledge that you retain and how you use that. So there you go. I just provided you with inspiration from 3 Idiots, the name of the movie, and myself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And with some words from the students for fellow honors students, our Student Government Association Honors College Senator, Kaylee Ball.
Okay, I'd like to begin with a quote from Emory Lindquist, the former president of the WSU. "The most decisive mission of a university is the impact of a program upon the student, the individual student, the young man and woman destined to become an older man and woman with personal, family, civic, and professional responsibility. I love knowing that I'm in a room filled with students who want to challenge themselves and push past what the normal classroom will provide. Students who wanted to take their college experience to the next level. And right now, you may not know what's in store for you, but I can promise you that you're going to learn a lot about your classes this year and even more about yourselves. Let me begin by just saying a huge congratulations to all of you standing here today. Your many hours of service, dedication, and hard work have not gone unnoticed, and I wish you all the best of luck in your coming years. Our new Dorothy and Bill Cohen's Honors College stands for 4 principles. being intellectual, innovative, professional, and transformational. All these principles come together to form what we as an honors college believe in and hold true, and what you individuals must stand for each and every day. Like Alex said at convocation yesterday, I joined honors because it's something I'd done in high school. I figured I should probably continue doing it in college, but I had many people tell me that it'd be impossible and I'd be doing hours upon hours of work. But it just seemed like the right decision to continue. I wanted a smaller class size, and I wanted teachers to actually know who I was instead of just being a name on a roster. I never imagined the doors that would be open because of the Bill and Dorothy Cohen Honors College. The dedicated faculty and staff strive each and every day to help us all. They want us to succeed maybe more than we do some days when they take time out of their busy schedules just to make that happen. So I want to give a quick thanks to all of the faculty, staff, and family in here today, just for all that you do for the honors students. I remember sitting in your place last year, excited for the coming school year, but also a little nervous, just about all the change that would be happening. Many people warned me that honors would be difficult, but I was ready to take on that challenge. My experience couldn't have been more of a 180. Honors transforms classes to make you a better student. They don't overwhelm you with homework and stress you out more. So many of these principles drive your success in college. But I think one principle for me that attributes the most to a person's success is your character. Everyone is individual and everyone will be transformed differently here at WSU. But your character should be something you can always count on staying the same. So character is technically defined by the mental and moral qualities of an individual. But I believe a person's character is more than just your personality. I believe instead that a person's character is your true qualities that are revealed when no one else is watching. A person can act differently around each group and each classroom they interact with. However, one's character should not be easily changeable to fit each environment. Helen Keller speaks of this difficulty when she spoke, "Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved." A person's attitude and personality can change towards any situation, but a person's character will stay the same no matter the circumstances you encounter. A person's character often displays your strengths and weaknesses, and I love that Helen Keller says that they cannot be developed in ease and quiet. You will go through trials and difficult times this coming year and the rest of your undergrad years. I can't promise you that it's going to be easy. There'll be points where you want to give up, but I want to remember that you have this entire room of people filled for your success. They want to take you and make you all the bright and rising students you can be. It's easy to zone out sometimes and lose focus on what really matters, especially when it's struggling, there's a lot of tests coming up, and you feel overwhelmed. But just remember that your inner drive should show your true self and the person that you're becoming. The inductees have shown their passion and hard work, but everyone today can find something they're compassionate about. Cassandra Clare, author of the book Clockwork Angel, once said, "Whatever you are physically, male or female, strong or weak, ill or healthy, all those things matter less than what your heart contains. If you have the soul of a warrior, you are a warrior. All those other things, they're glass that contain the lamp. You are the light inside." No matter what people see on the outside, it's really what's inside that matters most. So as we welcome you all new inductees into the Cohen's Honors College, I also wanted to share a quick quote from a UCL basketball coach. His name is John Wooden, and he once said, "Be more concerned with your character than your reputation." And because your character is what you really are, and your reputation is just what people see you as. Your character is one of the most important aspects of your life, and no matter the situation or the harsh circumstances you're going to be put through, your character should be something that defines you. As President Emory Lindquist once said, "Our university has the rich sense of belonging and the exciting feeling that the future is heavy with the promise of new things. It's a place where the present is sometimes a difficult reality, but it harbors great dreams about the future." I want to wish you all the best this year and for a great year for the Cohen Honors College. Thank you.
Now is the moment when we move to our formal and not so formal part of the ceremony. It's when I invite you to join with our student leaders and with me to constitute the Dorothy and Bill Cohen Honors College with its new members yet again. And it is my role to read you a little bit of the history, and then we're going to try something we've never tried before, so we'll just see how it goes. And we're going to rely on you guys to get it right. So, an honors program, as the president was telling you, has a long history here at Wichita State. The first honors program was actually started in 1957. It was one of the first honors programs in the country. And it was in 1978 that it was named after Emory Lindquist, who was, as President Bartow said, a Rhodes Scholar. And he was also a scholar who worked across disciplines as a university professor here in Wichita and as president of Wichita State University. It was his spirit that guided the honors program for many years, urging students and faculty to do not more work, but more meaningful work, to value thinking, to value improving oneself, and in the process, to improve the lives of others. That's the spirit of Lindquist that we carry forward. And Kaylee mentioned to you that we have 4 pillars in our Honors College. So the students and faculty who first created an Honors College at Wichita State in 2013, 2014, established these 4 pillars that express these values yet again: to be intellectual, to be professional, to be innovative and transformational. They imagined an honors college that has impact on campus, in Wichita, and in the world. And honors students drafted the language of the charter that we now read at the beginning of each academic year. In 2015, the college was named in recognition of Dorothy and Bill Cohen, whose generosity supports the honors community to continue the work of joining knowledge and innovation to grow visionaries.
At this time, I would like to ask you all to take out your programs, and on the back is the college charter. And I will ask the audience members to please join me in reading the preamble. We, the students and faculty who value the life of the mind, the execution of good work for its own sake, and the common threads uniting every discipline, who share a passion for rigor over ease, for creativity over uniformity, for debate over compliance, for inquiry over recitation, for knowledge over ignorance, for wisdom over conceit, and who inspired to be enlivened to minds, to connected understanding, to professional collegiality, to innovative collaboration, to inspired action, to distinguished service, to enriched lives, and to self-determination, do hereby establish the Honors College at Wichita State University.
Hi, I'm going to go ahead and read the numerical point number 1, developing a sense of community and common identity among its members. And I'm going to read point number 2, and after I read the point number 2, we can follow along and read the bullet points together. Cultivating an intellectual ethic among its members, including, and now you guys read with me, a contribution to the knowledge in one's chosen discipline, a value of an interest in the knowledge in other disciplines, a mastery of cognitive, transferable, and practical skills, a commitment to curiosity and lifelong learning.
And I will ask you to read the next with me, cultivating a professional ethic among its members, a passionate pursuit of long-term goals, a high degree of personal integrity and ethical conduct, a value of respectful, productive working relationships, a sense of common purpose and meaning.
Okay, and I'll ask you guys to read it with me also. Cultivating an innovative ethic among its members, including a creative approach to solving problems, a capacity for identifying unaddressed challenges and needs, a willingness to accept risk and ambiguity in precise solutions, a facility with borrowing from several disciplines, identifying connections between them to find interdisciplinary solutions.
And finally, I'll have you read with me, cultivating a transformational ethic among its members, including an urge to make a positive impact on the community and in the world, an open-minded embrace of diversity in backgrounds, values, and perspectives, a marriage of deliberation and decision in taking action, and an understanding of the importance of inspiring others.
So we now welcome all incoming honor students to join and constitute the college, and we will read each of your names.
Diego Gomez, Mariah Hart, Lily Jackson, How do you say it? Sachel Hernandez, Gabriel McGregor, Dakota Lamb, Timberly Sen, V. Lee, Shima Ahmed, Monica Ibarra,
Caitlin Heaton, Keen Foraker, Jordan Hawk, Derek Von Arks, Gentry Thiessen, Amy Lightfoot, Megan Carver, Shelby Behrens, Natasha Beaker, Ruth Darcy, Jada Forkenbrock, Emma Schatzman, Jarrett Johnson. Andrew Potvin.
Luis Gomez. Megan Grimes. Ryan Rathert. Noah Seagard. Mary Buckley. Alexis Watson. Alexis Lang. Austin Nefsker. Teresa Perez. Marshall Jawson. Jade Hoover. Madison Boshiers. Julio Santos. Brian Klein.
Jessica Waycamp. Sadie Fleeting. Michelle Thompson.
Well done.
Lauren Stollard. Alyssa Foster. Mariah Sewart. Anna Engel. Emily Hankins. Brianna Stacy. Chelsea Grantham. Nick Perkins. Amina Elamin. Andrew Martin. Megan Gall.
Taylor Wallace. Lindsay Vitito. Oh. Charlotte Rippey. Brina Wallace, Emily Ullman, Clayton Bond, Daniel Bonenkamper, Christian Eichhoff, Courtney Grosh, Austin Greathouse, Ryan Lee, Molly Jones, Kyle Kopecki, Alyssa Ward,
Grant Boyd, Samuel Atchity, Kale Chapman, Drew Gustafson, Hunter Rondo, Morgan Jarrett, Sarah Nank, Michelle Blackburn, Peyton Ramsett, Hannah Pitts, Anna Hunter, Madison Monaco, Courtney Talley, Jessica Aldrich,
Zachary Dugard, Ronald Crenshaw, Taylor Williams, Shayla Ingalls, Joseph Carnes, Marissa Fisher, Brian McTeague, Courtney Houston, Daniel Yap, Luke Hansen, Alex Stadler, Ezekiel Kazicki,
Brittany Wajahowski, Brogan Gilmore, Dakota Gilmore, John Moore, Harrison Taylor, Charles Long, the third.
Thank you. Students, faculty, staff, friends, and family, I accept your establishment of the Dorothy and Bill Cohen Honors College at Wichita State University for academic year 2015-16, and I challenge myself and you who are assembled here to fulfill our intellectual, professional, innovative, and transformational potential. I invite you to unscrew the locks from the doors and unscrew the doors themselves from their jambs, as the great American poet Walt Whitman said in Leaves of Grass, his only volume of poetry that he revised and republished again and again over 4 decades of the 19th century. And in fact, that is how we celebrate each incoming year, as if we are, like Whitman, that poet who will revise and revise and republish. I challenge you to this kind of poesis, this kind of world-making. Congratulations, students and families. Thank you to our distinguished guests who have joined us here today, Vice President Lou Heldman, Dr. Mariah Beck, whom you met, of 3 Idiots fame now, Dr. Elizabeth King, Dr. Jim Radigan, our President, Dr. John W. Bardo, and our First Lady, Deborah Bardo.